I'm going to read about my writing today. I write of self-reflection, so it is like a good writing, so it's kind of help to speak about myself reflection when I make recording. That's why I just try to read it. Okay, it is about serenity, so I'm going to read first. The title is Serenity is the True Strength that shows you who I truly am. I have spent a long time pondering what happiness truly is and how one can live a happy life. Yet, I have come to realize that happiness is like water slipping through your fingers when you try to hold it, an elusive and deeply subjective concept. It shifts, it hues, and transforms according to the circumstances we find ourselves in. Then, what emotion must feel? What emotion must I feel to genuinely calm and that I'm happy? After much contemplation, one word emerged, and it took root in my heart: serenity. Serenity is a jewel that wisdom boasts and shines the brightest through self-discipline. To maintain a serene mind, one must continuously learn and practice in translating knowledge into action. Most events in life are neutral by nature. Whether we perceive them as positive or negative is entirely depends on our interpretation. Not long ago, I stumbled on the stairs and I nearly fell. Fortunately, I calmed my balance and avoided injury. Leaning against the wall, I took a deep breath of relief and thought to myself, what a lucky day. I'm so grateful I didn't get hurt. Yes, as I drove to the gym later, I remembered how my past self would have reacted to the same situation. Back then, I would have said, what an unlucky day. I'd better be more careful. This realization that the same event could be painted with entirely different colors depending on my perspective, filled with the sense of growth. I am by nature a sensitive and anxious person. In the past, my automatic response wasn't often negative, a product not only of my personality, but of human nature itself. The human brain prioritizes survival and thus tends to fixate on worst case scenarios. But I resolved to go against an instinct. Since the positive interpretations do not come naturally to human beings, I knew it would require long and deliberate effort. Moment by moment, I worked. It severed the dread of negativity and view situations in a from fresh angle. Over time, these efforts accumulated, and now there are moments when positive interpretations arise effortlessly. This transformation feels like one of the most rewarding and meaningful accomplishments of my life. Yet, there are still times, particularly under extreme circumstances or when I'm at my lowest, when serenity feels out of reach. In those moments, I often find myself asking, why does this thing keep happening to me? All I want is to live with calm and composure. Without mind the happy with complaints, I turn to books, to wisdom. Through this process, I realized that true serenity is not about being calm and stable when everything is easy and comfortable. It is an inner strength to remain composed when in the most trying situation. Circumstances do not define who I am, they reveal us. Therefore, losing serenity in extreme situations does not mean those situations have shaped me. It means I have yet to become a truly serene person. It is under such conditions that humans show their true selves. And so, I made a vow to strive to maintain serenity, even if only for a minute in the face of adversity. Next time, I'll aim to learn 5 minutes and gradually extend that time, slowly but surely. I will cultivate this habit. My thoughts will shape my words will shape my actions will shape my habits, and my habits will ultimately shape my destiny, right? There will be days when I succeed and days when I fail, but in those moments I will remind myself, you're doing well, you come this far, and you will keep going. Life is like this, it's okay. Serenity is not merely inner peace. It is a reflection of who I am. It is my truest skill. And so today I continue my practice of serenity. Okay, so this is my writing, but I don't know, okay, I just initiated reading my Korean version of writing. Yeah, even though it is like English recording, but it's kind of worth it. Okay, so 평온함은 내가 어떤 사람인지 보여주는 진정한 실력이다. 나는 오랜 시간 동안 행복이란 무엇인지, 어떻게 하면 행복하게 살 수 있을지를 고민하며 살아왔다. 그러나 행복이라는 것은 마치 손 안에 담으려면 흘러내리는 물과 같아서 본질을 붙잡기 어려운 애매하고도 주관적인 개념임을 깨닫게 되었다. 행복은 우리가 처한 상황이 아니라 그 색깔을 달리하며 변모한다. 그렇다면 나는 어떤 감정을 느낄 때 진정 행복하다고 말할 수 있을까? 깊은 고민 끝에 가장 고차원적인 감정, 바로 평온함이라는 단어가 마음속에 자리 잡았다. 평온함은 지혜가 주는 보석이며 자제력을 통해 빛을 발한다. 평온한 마음을 유지하기 위해서는 매일 새로운 것을 배우고 이를 행동으로 옮기려는 꾸준한 훈련이 필요하다. 인간 세상에서 일어나는 대부분의 사건은 그 자체로 중립적이다. 그것을 긍정적이거나 부정적으로 보는 것은 오로지 나의 해석에 달려 있다. 얼마 전 나는 계단에서 발을 헛디뎌 넘어질 뻔한 적이 있었다. 다행히 중심을 잡고 넘어지지 않았고 그 순간 나는 벽에 기대어 깊은 안도의 숨을 내쉬며 말했다. 오늘은 정말 행운의 날이구나. 다치지 않아서 정말 감사하다. 그러나 차를 몸에 운동하러 가는 길 문득 과거의 내가 떠올랐다. 그때 나는 같은 상황에서 이렇게 말했을 것이다. 오늘 진짜 재수없는 날이네. 조심해야겠다. 이처럼 똑같은 사건도 내가 어떻게 해석하느냐에 따라 완전히 다른 색깔로 물들게 되는 것을 깨달으며 나는 스스로의 성장을 느꼈다. 나는 선천적으로 예민하고 불안도가 높은 사람이다. 과거에 나는 자동적으로 부정적인 해석을 내놓았고 이는 단지 개인적인 성향일 뿐만 아니라 인간 본성의 산물이기도 했다. 인간의 뇌는 생존을 최우선으로 하기 때문에 최악의 경우를 가정하며 부정적인 해석에 몰두하는 경향이 있다. 그러나 나는 그러한 본능을 거스르기 위해 의식적으로 노력하기로 결심했다. 긍정적인 해석은 인간 본성에 반하는 일이기에 오랜 훈련이 필요했다. 매 순간 나는 무의식적으로 들여진 부정적인 생각을 끊어내고 새로운 시각으로 바라보려 애썼다. 이러한 노력이 쌓여 이제는 나도 모르게 긍정적인 해석이 자연스럽게 떠오르는 순간을 경험하게 되었다. 이 세상에서 내가 해온 일 중 가장 보람있고 의미 있는 일 중 하나가 아닐까 싶다. 하지만 여전히 극한의 상황에 처하거나 내 컨디션이 최악일 때는 평온함을 유지하기 어려울 때가 많다. 그럴 때마다 나는 스스로에게 중얼거렸다. 왜 이렇게 나를 방해하는 걸까? 나는 평온하게 평정심을 유지하고 살고 싶었을 뿐인데. 불평으로 가득한 마음을 안고 다시 책을 읽으며 지혜를 찾았다. 그 과정에서 깨달은 것은 진정한 평온함이란 모든 것이 편안하고 안정적일 때가 아니라 극한의 상황에서도 유지할 수 있는 내면의 힘이라는 것이었다. 환경은 나를 만드는 것이 아니라 내가 누구인지 드러나게 할 뿐이다. 그러므로 극한의 상황에서 내가 평온함을 잃는다는 것은 그 극한의 상황이 나를 만든 것이 아니라 내가 아직 온전히 평온한 사람이 아니라는 뜻이다. 이렇듯 인간은 극한의 상황에서 그들의 본모습을 드러낸다. 그러므로 나는 다짐했다. 극한의 상황에서도 단 1분만이라도 평온함을 유지하려고 노력하자. 그리고 다음번에는 5분 동안 평온함을 유지하고 조금씩 그 시간을 늘려가자. 느리지만 점차적으로 습관을 들여가는 수밖에 없을 것이다. 이러한 나의 생각의 습관은 나의 말을 바꾸고 나의 말은 나의 행동을 바꾸며 나의 행동은 나의 습관을 바꾸어 결국 나의 운명을 바꾸는 길일 것이다. 잘되던 날도 실패한 날도 있겠지만 그러나 나 자신에게 잘하고 있어. 지금까지도 잘해왔잖아. 그럴 수 있어. 살다 보면 그럴 수 있고 그것이 인생이니까 라며 다독이고 나아가기로 했다. 평온함은 단지 내면의 평화일 뿐만 아니라 내가 어떤 사람인지 보여주는 진정한 실력이다. 그래서 오늘도 나는 평온을 수련한다. Yeah, it is very hard to maintain calm and composed, which is a serenity, right? I can just, be, in peace in even extreme situation, right? So I'm going to try to read the Equanimity, chapter 17, one more degree of equanimity is in the book, The Power of One More. I feel so tired. Okay, 2, 1, 3. So actually I should take a break, right? But okay, I'm going to take a break after reading this part. 2, 1, 3. Okay. I can do it. One more degree of equanimity. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, and that space is a part to choose your response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. To lead an bliss life, you must seek equanimity. In basic terms, equanimity is achieving serenity and the mental calmness in a world filled with stresses. Okay? Serenity, achieving serenity and the mental calmness. Okay, serenity and calmness and equanimity. Equanimity is an quiet glue that underpins a lot of the other ideas in this book. To reach the highest level of these strategies, you must do so with an advanced degree of equanimity. Okay, I'm sorry. The essence of equanimity. Equanimity originates from the Latin word having an even mind. It is the resulting combined even and mind and soul. Searching for an even mind and soul is an elusive virtue. People spend their lifetime in search of equanimity, me included. I've struggled to find calmness throughout my life. For me, finding equanimity is easier in low-stress situations. However, it's a lot more valuable when I can summon it under duress. By better understanding what equanimity is and putting it into practice, my paths to success take less time and are more frequent and substantial. Start with this fact. I can control the vast majority of what goes on in our lives. We can dream, set standards and goals, and adjust our thinking and actions in a dozen different ways. But we can't do it control outcomes despite our best efforts. For many people, the natural response is disappointment, frustration, despair, and anger. Nobody is immune from those feelings at our times or another. But what if you could raise your awareness about other ways to condition your brain and your response to outside forces and outcomes? What if you didn't let setbacks negatively impact you? What if you rose above bad outcomes in a positive and rational mental state impervious to the setbacks? What is the essence of equanimity when faced with a difficult situation, such as a stressful phone call, a poor meeting, a financial setback, or a relationship challenge? The highest achievers can find equanimity when others can. Why do some elite performers rise to an even higher level in crunch time while others in wealth? Equanimity is an invisible separator between super elite performances and those who are average and ordinary. Think of it this way: a lot of pitchers in have an easier time striking out the batters in the first inning than nobody on the base, versus an offending home run hitter with a base loaded in the next. Equanimity is also woven into several Eastern Indian religions. The element of equanimity. It's one thing to say that you should aim for one more level of equanimity. It's quite another to understand how you should get there. Like any challenge, begin by breaking a big concept of equanimity into smaller parts that will add clarity and simplicity and make it easier to accept equanimity in its entirety. As you study equanimity and how it relates to your beliefs and religion, some elements of it may or may not resonate with you. I'm going to give you some overarching principles, but it's up to you to decide how best approach your version of equanimity in a way that makes the most sense to you. Equality is about finding serenity as the battle the challenges in your life. You're going to get toasted about. That's life, and there's no hiding from it. While we can't control outside forces, we can be mindful of how we think and react to them. This awareness lets us quiet our minds. Serenity is about accepting there are some things that we simply can't change. Finding serenity requires certain practice. Meditation toward equanimity requires that you concisely release and preferences and for against and all things. Your actions are guided in more by values and virtues instead of your desires and their reactions to the positive or negative feelings. Equanimity is about recognizing impermanence. No matter what is happening in your life right now, it won't last forever. Life is all about change and impermanence. When you recognize this, you understand that good times and bad will pass through your life. Clinging to the good or bad and can only lead to pain. It's easy to understand how hanging on to the bad creates pain, but recognize that when you hang on to the good, it can also be a source of pain when it leaves. Equality is about doing away with the permanence and the pain associated with that. Equality creates a space of awareness that lets every piece of stimulation come and go. Thoughts and just thoughts, sounds are only sounds. People are just being themselves, and events are only events. Equality reminds us of our insignificance. we often place way too much focus on ourselves. When we are able to come to grips that we are only one small part of the vast human condition, it liberates us and from pressures we place on ourselves. Our fears shrink when we put them into perspective. We don't run from pain or avoid the blame or loss of any such vigor. We accept our state and work toward balance in our lives with added calmness. Equanimity is about letting go. If you challenge or setback in your life is heavy, set it down, let it go. Learn how to detach from negative beliefs, resentment, pain, and hurt. One of the four noble truths proclaimed by Buddha is that attachment is the origin of suffering. The attachment to desire or the attachment to desire not to have something both create anxiety and fear. Letting go of both and accepting what comes into your life, good and bad, release us from a prison of our thoughts. Equality embraces change. Instead of getting stuck in the status quo, recognize that your future lies in the winds of change. Acceptance of change, which is inevitable, brings about peace. Fighting change isn't a waste of time. These concepts only scratch in the surface of what equality is. If you're interested, I strongly encourage you to dig deeper. There were whole libraries on equality and how it is a feature in so many cultures and religions. The more you know about equality, the greater your potential for more level of equality in your life. As part of your future exploration, look at an 8-word lead wins an excellent place to start. Okay, we must balance good and bad, and so that while we recognize any good news, we also understand it isn't permanent. We accept that the world will balance things over time, and this way we neither get too high or too low when we react to those events. This is to say, we shouldn't feel joy or happiness when something good happens. We just needed to put it into perspective. Equality allows us to do that. Without equality as a governor, going back and forth is exhausting. The goal is a complete mental calmness. Sometimes we can reach that state, but since the pursuit of equality is a lifelong venture, we must refine our approach and course correct as we go along. Equality at times tends to steer a course down in the middle of each of these pairs. It does not entirely fall in line with one side or the other. Equality accepts the reality of each wind without following it. The realization is that the winds are not permanent, and when they change, it's easier to respond with more flexibility. All of this in philosophy is well and good. However, you must decide what your relationship is with equality now and in the future. Okay. Of course, there's only ideal state you should target, aggressive and what equality. If you're passive, equality won't help you much other than be a nagging part of your brain that reminds you that you are too laid back and calm to accomplish anything significant in your life. You must bring a certain level of tenacity to your life. You don't have to turn on the dial to 10 at all times, but you must lead a life where you get stuff done. I mentioned at the beginning of this chapter that I haven't always approached life with enough equanimity. I admit that. I was such a hard choice that I drew my life out of balance. And I didn't even know it at the time. Sure, I got stuff done. I made a lot of money, but I paid a higher price than I needed by not practicing equality for many years. The journey to equality does not happen overnight. As I learned, it requires years of being mindful and intentional in your thoughts and actions. One more thing, because I know to understand equality is not permanent. It's a fleeting and it will come and go as various challenges occur in your life. You will move between degrees of equality from day to day and moment to moment, and my goal is to make sure you don't go through life without enough equality as I did. Find the peace and a mental calmness as soon as you can. Your relationship with equality is a force that makes many other good things possible in life. Okay, so good job. Oh my god, my eye hurts. Why does it hurt? Oh my god. So tired and painful. It's okay. Okay, good job, Adrian.